Hello everybody, welcome back to your number one source for all things classic Tetris. I'm your favorite underwater host Sharky, and this is the Classic Tetris Insider. Now, first things first, I want to address something. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded Insider or much less content here on the Classic Tetris channel, and I do apologize for that. March tends to be the busiest month for me historically, and I was doing a little bit of traveling, so didn't really have time to sit down and record these episodes, as well as, edit them and all the other things that come with said episodes. So with that being said, we're going to be talking about content that we are going to be tackling here for today's Insider. And we do got quite a bit of content. We're not going to be necessarily recapping any events today, and we might do so in the future. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. So first things first, we are going to be talking about the Tetris movie. Then talking about the Tetris movie, we're going to be talking about the regional event that is happening this weekend. Then we're going to be talking about the Mega Masters event by CTM. Then we're going to be talking about Gauntlet and the launch of its new season Ascension, as well as other affiliated events. Then we're going to follow it up with talking about the content that is going to be planned to be uploaded here on the Classic Tetris channel. Then to close it out, we're going to be talking about two more DAS events that are going to be happening, one this weekend and one with qualifying that ends around a week away from now. So with that being said, you got the layout of what today's video is going to be. Let's go ahead and jump into our first topic, which is the Tetris movie. Now, for those of you that don't know, or for some reason if you hadn't got any kind of advertising, which one, that'd be impressive, the Tetris movie came out yesterday by the time this video is being uploaded. Even though I am recording it on the 31st, it came out yesterday. Anyways, the Tetris movie essentially tells the story of, well, Tetris, and how there was this huge battle for acquiring the rights to Tetris. And in fact, instead of me just explaining it, why don't you check out this trailer?
As a businessman, you know partners are what make us great. I'm talking Tetris. That's why Mario has Luigi. That's why Zelda has Link. That's why Mike Tyson has whoever he's punching out in Punch-Out. With these new business partners, everything is gonna be fine. I promise.
Is that a promise you can keep?
So yeah.
Tetris. Rated R.
So I personally am going to be watching the Tetris movie sometime this weekend, but you can also watch it as well. All you need to do is go to Apple TV, as that's where it's currently streaming exclusively on, and get yourself, a trial, or even purchase, just a 1-month subscription, and you'll be able to watch the Tetris movie. And from what I've heard, it's pretty good, and personally, I can't wait to watch it. So once again, that is on Apple TV, Tetris movie. You definitely want to see it. Up next, we're going to be talking about the CTWC Midwest Milwaukee Regional. Now, this event has quite a lot of things going on, so be sure to, stick with me so you can kind of get the gist of everything. First things first, the qualifying is actually going to be taking place over 2 days. Well, sort of. Majority of the qualifying is going to be taking place on Saturday, with a little bit of qualifying taking place on Sunday. Qualifying on Saturday is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local, and then on Sunday it's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., with the final game being played at 11:45. Now, there is some other events that do happen on Saturday, as the bracket play is going to be on Sunday. The events that are going to be happening on Saturday are going to be the 100-line sprint tournament and the Tetris World Championship 2. The 100-line sprint tournament will be taking place at 5 p.m. local, and the Tetris World Championship 2 will be taking place at 2 p.m. local. Now, this will be broadcasted on Classic Tetris on Twitch. However, on Sunday, you might get to see a little bit on Classic Tetris 2 because of a little bit of a timing conflict with another event that is happening that we'll be discussing towards the end of the Insider. But after that event concludes, then things will get swapped over back to Classic Tetris. So there's Classic Tetris on Twitch. Definitely going to check it out. Up next, we're going to be talking about Monthly Tetris and the Mega Masters event. Now, the Mega Masters event is an event that happens once a year and has been happening for a couple of years now, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing that makes this event special is there's a whole bunch of unique stipulations, and it's essentially the online equivalent of CTWC. Now, what are those stipulations? Well, first things first, with it being the Mega Masters event, it's trying to encourage as many people to play it in the main bracket as possible. And how was that necessarily accomplished? Well, if you got one max out in 90 minutes, No matter what the rest of your average was, you were guaranteed to be in the bracket. So all you have to do was max out in your 90-minute qualifying time period, and you were able to get into the bracket. Now, with that being said, there's a whole lot of other stipulations that affect match play. For example, there will be the level 39 super kill screen. For those of you that don't know, the super kill screen is essentially 2 times the speed of regular kill screen, because rolling has affected how 29 play is managed, and with it being able to play it indefinitely, this was imposed to help bring more of an emphasis on efficiency and kind of give players like, hey, you can't just play the game for 30 minutes and line out forever. And also, in addition to that, there will be same piece sets. So RNG won't necessarily be a factor in terms of what pieces you receive, just only how you build them. And of course, there will be face cam and hand cam to accompany all these. So I know you're sitting here and you're asking, is like, man, this sounds like it's going to be a fantastic tournament. Where can I watch it? Well, round 0 will be taking place on April 1st. So by the time this is uploaded, it's probably already started, and April 2nd. This is to whittle things down to 64 players because of no max left behind. That's what the rule is called. There is definitely more than 64 players that are able to make the bracket. So these 2 days have been set aside to try and whittle it down to the top 64 players. Then from April 3rd to April 28th, you're going to have all these days where you're going to see up to 16 individual broadcasted brackets containing 4 players to decide each of the top 16 representatives. Then on April 29th, you're going to have top 16. This is just top 16, and then top 8 will be played that following day on April 30th. For more information on when all these kind of intermediary brackets before top 16 are going to be taking place, you're going to want to join the Classic Tetris Monthly Discord server so you can be notified when all these brackets happen. In addition to that, the goal for this tournament is a $10,000 prize pool. So definitely the online equivalent of CTWC from previous years being, $10,000 as the total prize pool, but it could be more. So if you are interested in potentially contributing to said prize pool, then once again, all the relevant information will be in their Discord server, as well as in the insider document that we provide at the end of each of these episodes. We'll provide in the description on each of these episodes. But moving on from the CTM Mega Masters event, it's time to talk about Gauntlet Ascension. Now, for those of you that don't know, Classic Tetris Gauntlet is the event that I run, and Gauntlet Ascension is the name, or is the start of the new season for Team Tetris. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive further in. Registration for the Ascension League closes on April 8th in order for you to get in at the beginning of the league. There is still a mid-season draft, so if you are interested in playing throughout or later on in the season, then be sure to check that out. However, there is some requirements for you to participate in the Ascension League. The requirement is that you have to be a max out player or a 900k PB plus player, and you have to get above the median in the tryout. The tryouts have been pretty brutal because it's average of 10. So yeah, it's been pretty brutal. But if you are over a 900k PB player and you are able to get over the median of what everyone else in that same kind of max out plus division, then you'll be able to get into the Ascension League. Now, we're not trying to alienate anyone by having this as like, oh, max out above and only. We actually do have something so you can develop your skills to get that max out. That is, of course, the Mino League. Essentially what the Mino League is, it allows all players of all skill levels, under a max out of course, to participate in a team Tetris event. So it's essentially like the Ascension League, but for those that don't meet that threshold. Now there's a couple things special about the Mino League in particular, with one of the main things being is that Tetris Effect connected players are allowed to participate in the Mino League. That's right, if you have Tetris Effect connected and you are able to stream to Twitch, you have eligibility and the ability to play in the Mino League. So that is definitely one thing that we decide to do to enable more accessibility for those that don't necessarily have the ability to try and get, the original hardware or, are comfortable with playing on emulator, etc., so on and so forth. Yeah. Also, what the Mino League does is the goal is to harness players' skill levels and help them reach higher scores in their journey. And of course, this is accomplished by players helping out each other, and even myself doing some coaching, breaking down certain matches, and giving you my personal opinions on things that you can do to improve yourself. My goal is to help as many players as possible get to a max out, because I personally believe that anyone that puts their time to this game can achieve a max out. As I said in the video from a game scout, like almost 3 years ago from now. That's crazy. But the Mino League registration will be open indefinitely. So if there's any point that you want to join the Mino League, all you have to do is just fill out the registration form, and you'll be able to join, and eventually, if you are able to, you'll be able to get promoted into the Ascension League if you do reach that max out threshold. Now, there's another thing that Gauntlet is doing, and this is going to be called Redux. Now, Redux has sort of happened, and it sort of hasn't. Essentially, what Redux is the old King of the Hill Gauntlet format underneath a new name, hence the name Redux. And what this is it allows players of all skill levels, so you can be a player that only has 300k, or you can be a 1.6 player. You're allowed to participate in these King of the Hill events that are separated by skill level, so you're not going to have to worry about going up against someone imbalanced. Not only that, but we are also allowing Tetris Effect connected players to also play in this event as well. And the reason why we can do this is because of the single player mode they recently released. And through some working outs and testing, it is actually viable for us to integrate the Tetris Effect connected classic score attack ecosystem into the original hardware / emulator NES Tetris ecosystem. Now, don't worry, we're almost done, then we'll be moving on. We have a couple more things to talk about. First is there will be an exhibition match on Monthly Tetris on the 6th at 6 p.m. Central, or 2300 UTC. Then that following week, or exactly a week from that date on the 13th, will be the first match of the season on the Classic Tetris channel. So both of these channels are on Twitch, so if you do have time and you can stop by, also 6 p.m. Central for the Classic Tetris one, kind of went out of chronological order there. But if you do have time, you want to check it out, then be sure to check out that. All the relevant information will be down in the description below. And two more things, I promise. I know it's a lot, and that's because Gauntlet is doing a lot this season, but just two more things. This season will feature 8 to 10 teams, each getting their own team logo, which some majority of the teams are keeping their logo from the previous season. But there is something new that I am doing, and that is I am designing and making esport jerseys for all the teams, so the players will be able to purchase them before the playoffs this season. So if you are wanting to participate and be part of a team and have like an actual esport jersey, it's like, you know, I mean, I for one think it's going to be really cool. And of course, there's going to be limited merch drops and stuff like that regarding the Ascension whenever the jerseys do get dropped and everything. But that is one thing. And last, if you want to check out the trailer so you can kind of understand what Gauntlet is and what you can expect to see this upcoming season, then you can check it out on my main channel or the Gauntlet Ascension channel, which has just been created. So you want to check that out, then all the relevant information will be linked in the document in the description. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about our content for CTWC, or our channel here on Classic Tetris. There has been a couple of events that have happened recently, and so we're going to be uploading videos from all those respective events. First, we're going to be uploading the Rumble on the Prairie 13. There's going to be 3 videos, which contains the winner finals, the loser semifinals, losers finals, quarterfinals match, and, well, the grand finals. Now, this was done in a sort of like a 4-player scene, so a lot of those, the kind of like the winner finals and the loser quarter and the loser semifinals had to be included in the same video. So you'll be able to expect to see that. Then following that, you'll see CTWC Austria. 3 videos which are going to be containing both the semis and the finals. Following that, there's going to be CTWC Germany. 4 videos, semis 1 and 2, and the 3rd place match, as well as the finals. So you can expect to see all that content coming out in April. Now that that's been briefly covered, we're going to talk about Classic Tetris Germany, because they do have another kind of event that is going to be happening, and that is the German PAL League. Season 23 will be starting soon, and more information can be found on that Discord, on their Discord server. So if you are a German and you would like to participate in this German PAL League and you play PAL, then you'll be able to participate in this event. And I believe they do have NTSC leagues as well down the line. So if you do like playing NTSC, then also be sure to join the Discord server, because you'll be able to join those events whenever they do happen. Now, for our last two events that we're going to be covering here on the Insider, I'm actually making pretty good time, to be honest. I'm not trying to take up so much of your time, but of course we didn't go into any match recaps or anything of that nature, but I'm kind of rambling at this point. First things first, we're going to be talking about the DAS Monthly Tournament Top 4 for the Diamond Bracket. This will be the final month before a hiatus, and it's going to contain Diamond Top 4. This will take place on Sunday at 11 a.m. Central, and it's going to be featuring well-known DAS players such as Adam MTS, Mark Migas, as well as phenomenal players Sidnev and everyone's favorite Indonesian player, Nenu. It will be on the Classic Tetris channel, and this is that kind of morning channel, or that kind of timing conflict I told you at the beginning of the Insider. So it is likely that the Illinois event, or not the Illinois, it is likely that the Milwaukee event will be starting on Classic Tetris 2, and then we'll move over to Classic Tetris 1. Well, Classic Tetris, not Classic Tetris 1, is the first channel. It will be moving over to Classic Tetris after the DAS Monthly Top 4 concludes. But last and most certainly not least, CT DAS, or Classic Tetris DAS. I want you guys to understand something. If you like DAS, this is the tournament to watch. It is the biggest online DAS tournament of the year. It was the biggest online DAS tournament of the year last year, and it's shaping up to be just the same thing this year. It will feature quals that end on April 10th. It was an average of your best 3 scores, but you are only allowed to play 12 games. 64 players will be allowed in the main bracket. All this information you will be able to find in the CT DAS Discord server, which, like I said, will be linked in the document below. So definitely want to check that out if you're a DAS player, or you are a player that can play DAS and you want to participate in this. As far as my knowledge, there is a prize pool for this event, most likely going to be raised through Matcherino, but yeah. Anyways, that's going to conclude things for the Classic Tetris Insider. Once again, I want to say thank you all for being patient with me here. I'm the one that's creating these videos for the Classic Tetris channel, and I hope to get back into the full swing of things here coming this month in April. Anyways, with that being said, be sure to check out all the information, including the Tetris movie. All that stuff will be linked down in the description below. But I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Classic Tetris Insider.